Hi, hello, welcome back. I'm Heather, or Miss Post 08. This is Pages with Post 08, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm doing my September wrap up for middle grade. So here's all the middle grade YA books that I read in September, and yay me, I did pretty good. I read a total of 15 books. Of those, 12 were YA or middle grade. So we're gonna talk about 12 books today. She's back, ladies and gentlemen, yay! It was finally a really good reading month for me. And really the last week of September sealed the deal. That really helped me. We have a little break here where I teach. And so I have a nice fall break because we go back to school so stinking early that we actually get a nice chunky chunk fall break. And so taking advantage of that, still enjoying it right now. And so calm, collected, and delighted to be here. Books. Let's talk about in the order that I read them for September. I started off this month with a graphic novel. The graphic novel is called Fox Point's own Gemma Hopper. It is by Bree Spangler. It focuses in on a main character, Gemma, who has a brother who's like super famous, about to be like a baseball star. He's getting recruited and all of this. And the fact of the matter is she's actually pretty good herself. And so the story kind of unfolds of her coming into her own and being recognized for her own qualities and not having to like follow in the shadow of her brother. I liked this book. Like, it was good. Again, I read it at the beginning of the month. I gave it 4 stars. It was good. I enjoyed it. I'm not a baseball player, so I think I would have enjoyed that part a little bit more if that was my thing. So anyway, highly recommend for the sporties, and it was good. Okay, book number 2 I do have, and that was Scarlet. I love these covers. These covers are fantastic. I read Cinder maybe the end of last year because it was with my book club. So finished up Scarlet. Look at the inside and the outside. These covers are, I love them. Anyway, I'm reading Cress right now, so I'm on to the next. This is a fantastic series. This is book 2. Basically, Marissa Meyer's, always a 5-star for me, by the way. This whole series, so good. Basically, Marissa Meyer's twists fairy tales into this futuristic, fabulous sci-fi delight. So this is a world where there are people that live on the moon, and they are attacking the people that live on Earth. At this point, we have Cinder, so it's a second book, so we're kind of evolving the characters. Multiple characters are in this book, and you kind of shift perspectives so that the story continues to tell. They just keep getting bigger because the story gets more and more complicated. I will tell you, this is a Red Riding Hood twist. Scarlet, obviously. This is not Wolf. This is Wolf. Yeah, it's fun. It's fabulous. Science fiction, YA. I loved every second of this. This is my reread, so obviously I'm enjoying them. They're just fun. They're super fun. If you like twisted fairy tales, highly recommend. Next, I read for my book club at school, Hunger Games. So they decided that we should read Hunger Games, another dystopian sci-fi futuristic. I would call this YA upper middle grade. It's hard to not already know what Hunger Games is about, but if you don't, we're basically in a dystopian world called Pan Am. Humanity's kind of rebuilt itself into this country, Pan Am. I'm not going to say humanity, at least what used to be the United States. And we have districts that all feed the capital. Katniss Everdeen is your main character here and is the unlikely hero as she is chosen to be a part of the Hunger Games. I did a whole video because I highlighted banned books on Hunger Games and the trilogy basically. So spoiler alert, those are the other two I'm going to talk about here. 5 stars for all 3. I don't have Catching Fire. It's being loaned out to a student, but I did read Hunger Games, Mockingjay, Catching Fire, all 3, because once you start one, you have to read the others. So this month, the trilogy came in. If you want to see more about that being banned, I have another video that you're welcome to go see. Maybe I'll even link it somewhere. The next one that I read was a Gordon Corman. It was called The Faker. I listened to this one on audio. Really enjoyed it. Gordon Corman has been sometimes a hit or miss for me. Lately, more hits. This was fun. Faker highlights a main character whose family dad is kind of a con man, and the family is just him, his sister, and his dad. And basically his dad does these cons on rich people, and the kids are getting up in age where they're starting to help, I guess. And our main character, and I'm drawing a blank on his name, so I'll put his name here. Our main character isn't sure this is the life he really wants, and he's starting to feel a lot more questions and guilt and you know, protection for the friends that he has that are kind of being marks, I guess. It was a really good book. At first I thought it was going to be like a 3-star. I wasn't like loving it. Once they got to the town and he settled in and he started meeting people, it sucked me in. It was a fun ride. I really enjoyed it. Gave it 5 stars. So yeah, it was good. So go Gordon Corman. The next middle grade, and I do have a video on this one, so I'm not going to talk a whole heck of a lot about it, but I read 2 Goosebumps. One of them was The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena, and yes, this is my actual copy from my actual school, and whoo doggy, it's seen better days. I also read Stay Out of the Basement. Both of these are Goosebumps by R.L. Stine. I'm not a Goosebump person. That's all I'm gonna say. If you want to see more, I did do a banned book highlight on this one because Goosebumps are on the banned book list. So you can go see that video and hear a little bit more on my thoughts on that one. But I gave Goosebumps, this one got a 2.5 star and the other one got a 3. Moving on, I read Monster. This is definitely YA. I would not go middle grade on this one, but you do you, boo. Highly acclaimed, lots of accolades. This one is written as a screenplay. Our main character is basically on trial for a crime, and you basically walk through that experience with him. He is writing the screenplay as a way for him to process. This is also a banned book. I also have a video on this one. Highly recommend that you go check that one out. I did really enjoy this one. It's not a light read. Let's go there. Let's just say that. 4 stars. Well done. Yes, banned. I read my very first, to close off the month, I read my very first Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I did not start with the first one. I figured the series has been going on for a long time. Look at all those copies that we have there. So I just jumped into the series and read The Meltdown. Diary of a Wimpy Kid was not written for me. I am not the audience. I have a whole video on this one too. Kind of sums up my banned book week, and you're welcome to go check out my thoughts there. I think I ended up with a 2-star. But Diary of a Wimpy Kid is not written for a 40-something-year-old lady. It's written for middle schoolers. And because of that, it works. I'm not the audience. Okay. So I did forget one. Let me go back to it, which is kind of crazy that I forgot it because it was my favorite book of the month. And my favorite book of the month was a YA that is called You Should See Me in a Crown. Really good. This is an author that I actually discovered last month, and my favorite book last month was actually hers as well. So loving this author, Leah Johnson. This book is a YA. It basically takes place again in Indiana, and we have a young lady who is in high school. She is, and I'm doing really good with names today, so here's her name, boop. She is a senior and kind of more on the nerdy side of the world and part of the orchestra, very talented. And basically she was counting on a scholarship for her to get in. Well, she got into the college. She was counting on a scholarship to help her pay for the college and didn't get it. This happens right at the beginning of the book. I'm not spoiling. With that understanding, she decides that she's going to run for prom court because prom king and queen receive scholarships, and it's the amount of scholarship that she needs. This particular area is prom crazy, and they do all kinds of things, and you basically follow her journey. It is funny, it is sad, it is beautiful, it is coming of age, it is LGBTQ, it was a delight from start to finish. I absolutely loved it. And I have a video on that one too, because it is a banned book. So you're welcome to go check that out too. So yeah, this was my super quick wrap up. So that was my September reading month. I did really good. I'm very proud of myself, obviously, with a banned book week. That kind of helped me a lot to get my numbers up and to get my books done. So very motivational, and there's tons of videos if you want to see anything that I was reading over September. So this was my wrap up, and if you like what you see, maybe hang around, maybe push that subscribe button, maybe like this video, and maybe check this one out. So anyway, have a fabulous, wonderful, amazing day.